Thank you, Senator Rivera. I appreciate that. First, let me say this. I also appreciate your efforts in this. You obviously have a big heart. I know you care and you want to help everyone, and I appreciate that. The problem is this. We do not have unlimited resources. As I said, we had just debated the budget a few weeks ago, and the budget was set at $229 billion, which I believe is a bit excessive myself, but many bills that come through here on the fiscal note have those three famous letters behind them, TBD, to be determined. But we don't have that behind our budget. Why? Because we do not have an infinite amount of resources. We have a finite amount. How do I know this also? Because during the budget process, we fought to make sure that school children who were hungry would be fed in school. We knew the amount we needed, but we didn't get there. We made a choice, a tough choice, but we made a choice that about 80% will get fed, but there's 20% that won't. So again, when you have finite resources, you have to make tough choices. I personally would have chose to make sure every child got fed, but I digress. When you have these finite resources, you have to make tough choices. As we discussed, even if this bill were to pass today, there would be New Yorkers who would not have coverage. They still wouldn't be covered. Legal, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens who would not have health coverage. Now, we can get into the whole undocumented or illegal immigrant argument, but I'd like to go with this. The fact of the matter is, we have a legal process for immigrants to come to this country. And if they don't do it that way, legally through that process, then they've broken the law. When we continue to say, well, you shouldn't have done it, but we're going to give you this or give you that, I can't help but say we're encouraging more activity like this. Now, I know we have a legal process because if I was not here last night, I was going to be at the Middle Country Library at a new citizenship program, which is one of my favorite programs to attend. It is amazing to greet new citizens and to welcome them. And by the way, not once did I say, welcome immigrant. I give them a hug and I say, welcome, my fellow American citizen, welcome. Because they've done it right. There is a legal process, and it may be long, it may be arduous and difficult and sometimes expensive, but there's a legal process to do it right, and they did it. But there's also a process to do it wrong, and if we continue to spend our resources on those that haven't done it properly, then that means there are less for those that have done it properly. And so, while I understand if I could wave a magic wand and we had all the resources in the world, there'd be no one hungry, no one sick, we would take care of everyone. But as I said, we're here to make tough choices. And sometimes those choices mean, as we did in the budget with those kids, regretful, but we had to make the choice. And if I have to use these resources, because again, as we went through the program and we discussed this, while it was pitched that the federal government will pick up every penny, actually they may not, as happened in Washington State. And the answer Senator Rivera gave was that we would end up footing the bill just through the process we're doing, emergency Medicare. So we would pay at the emergency rooms or something, but it's the taxpayers that are paying the bill. And again, we do not have unlimited resources. So might I suggest we focus our attention on fixing, and I know it's a federal process. I get that. But the money we're talking about is coming from the federal government. Perhaps if the federal government took that money and focused on fixing the broken immigration system to stop the flow of thousands and thousands who are coming over not the right way. Maybe if we did that, fix the system, maybe we could help those, everyone, that are here doing it right, day by day, abiding by our laws, and doing it right. So I have to make a choice. That's who I'm here fighting for, the ones that are doing it right. And for that reason, I'll be voting no.